Are we on, Body Rock? Is it on? Everything working? You notice I start a show like that every time. I always ask him, like, are we on? Is everything good? What's the deal, man? This is Bad Luck, man. You have now entered the cookout. You know what I mean? This show is going to get a little different. But, you know, we always on our bullshit, so that's definitely going to get some bullshit dipped in there. But I got some friends with me, as always. And we want to talk about some things as far as this business goes. I got some people who do some interesting things, some deep, very deep backgrounds, and we're gonna shake it up a little bit. We're gonna go into business and, you know, a little bit in and outs, do's and don'ts, and kind of shit like that. But then we want to get into business and relationships, kind of social. How do they, you know, how do they kind of occupy the same space,
or do they?
You know what I mean? And I'll explain that a little more later. But I got my man EP in the building. EP is CEO of The Furnace, producer extraordinaire. Thanks for coming by, my good brother.
Thanks for having me, brother.
You look very nice today, I must say.
Man, come on, man.
You always clean the shit, especially on Sundays, dog. EP be cleaning shit. I don't know if y'all see his Instagram page. He's always saying ill-ass quote. He clean as a motherfucker.
No,
and he been in the
Church
gym, so his
outfit.
suits is fitting
Church
different. Yeah.
outfit. Yep.
You already know what that gym is.
Right. That gym, like gym flow.
Yeah.
Hashtag gym flow.
Yeah, because it's that reflective. Because
Yeah.
I didn't even think about what I had on until I seen what he had on. I'm like,
Right.
oh shit.
That's exactly how I
Right.
feel.
Yeah, I'm like.
Damn, I
He
didn't
just,
realize we were
he
coming
just showed
into
us the fuck
night.
up. Like,
Then when she came with the furry flip flops, I'm like, all right, I'm back cool.
all right, like we cool. Yeah, we cool. Everything bad, comfortable. Okay, cool. I also have a beautiful young lady by the name of Melissa, CEO of MMKPR.
Yes.
I always miss it. Now, I'm glad I did that right, guys. Get that right, because I always say MMPKR when I'm searching for your Instagram.
Oh,
I
okay.
always mix the P with the K.
Well, just think public relations. So MMK, PR, public relations. So the P and the R have to go together.
Right. There it is. CEO of MMK PR. Melissa's definitely in the building, man. And manager extraordinaire. I like to put extraordinary at the end of anything.
I love that.
I like to
That's
put
a big
it
pair
is.
of shoes
I like to
that
put
you just
extraordinary
put
at the
me
end
in.
of
Thank you.
everything. You know what I mean? Because it just sounds better. Like it sounds like
It does.
better. But you know, Melissa is super dope at what she does.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's
I'm like,
like,
I
what's-
didn't
he
even
said,
scratch the
what was she?
surface yet.
Right.
I didn't
what she
even know
was?
concept.
What was she at first? Like,
Yeah.
I definitely can't wait to hear some things from her, especially dealing with the topics we're dealing with today. You know, I got a well-rounded crowd. I definitely got my nigga Badru is definitely in the building.
Yeah.
And Badru doesn't need a title because Badru, like me, is a man of many things.
Yeah, title free.
Yeah, title free. That's killer.
Yeah.
Title free. I like that. I fuck with that. So look, what I want to get to today is a little game about the business and the business we live in. You know what I'll do? I started with a topic, right? So I was checking. I was on Instagram today, and I noticed Chris Brown had put a post up about his singles royalty had just, I think, hit like 2 million in streams, and he put a post up saying that these songs went 2 million in stream, and I ain't put an album out yet. You know what I mean? Kind of like just songs that just went popping, and then it is what it is. And I kind of looked at it like, you know what? What's crazy is we're going to get to a point where niggas stop putting out albums, and because you know it's like with the stream with them awarding all the streams their own individual thing. They count all the streams. You kind of don't have to. Like, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't or you should. I'm just saying like niggas is like, yo, man, put out a song that shit gets millions of streams. You kind of can fucking do shows off that shit. Look at T Grizzly. T Grizzly put out a couple of songs, but that first record did like 200 million spins, some shit like that, streaming some shit like that. Something crazy. His plaque looked crazy. And he's still on the road from that shit. Then he put out that Yachty record right after that, and that went crazy. There's no album. He out here just popping. Like, and it's kind of like you have no pressure to do one.
Right.
And a lot of these dudes, and some of these dudes are independent. The record label kind of ain't really tripping because it's less money for them to put into something. So, I mean, what do y'all think about that? I kind of see it going to a place where I'm not saying like people are not going to put out albums just across the board. I'm just saying like the single is the thing. Put out loose records are the thing, especially when you can just put them on iTunes and them songs turn into fucking hits. I mean, what do y'all think about that?
think necessarily albums are going to go away because, quite honestly, for artists that are established and have solidified a place in the industry, they need an album to attach to brands and
Right.
attach to experiences outside of music. Because now artists, they're multifaceted in what they can attain, money-wise, monetarily. It's not just in the music. It's really not even in the music anymore.
Right.
So I think albums are still going to serve a purpose for the artists that, they have, not so much have to, but in order to attach themselves to other things and experiences in the culture and the expectation from the fans to compete with that and still be able to put out, a full body of music. What I do think is going to happen is I think timelines are going to go away. Like everyone's so set on like, it's so long. Like we're coming into a society where it's instantaneous with music. So, I think labels and independent imprints, they're going to get their hand pushed a lot from artists that in the moment are going to be like, no, we got to go now. Because they feel it in the moment and they know the momentum and they're just going to want to go. So I see, the 2 month, the month and a half, those timing and rollouts going away, but I don't see albums going away for the more established artists that it's expected, for them to have to carry through to touch other pieces of the culture.
Now, I dig that, and that's kind of, I should have, right, I mean, there's always instances where somebody's going to do something the way it's been going, right? So, yeah, somebody like Talib Kweli will do an album, or somebody like older Nas will do an album, or somebody like, but I'm talking about with the flush of, think about it, like the time's moving so fast, these niggas aren't even getting out of here. Like, and I don't mean like getting out of here forever. I mean like they're just being pushed into veteran status. They're in their own little room and world over here they're locked in there forever. They make classics. They're going to tour forever. They're fine, right? Yeah. But it's the rush of new niggas that change the rules of how the game's going. Like the new guys are the reason why the new rules are made in the game. The new guys are how the 360 deal was implemented. Like, you know what I mean? And shit like that. So I'm just looking at it like, yo, the youngins out here, they're out here like, niggas is preaching like, fuck the major labels, right? And niggas is like, yo, my song just did, I got 1 million spins on Spotify with no nothing. And they start to think like, yo, and I'm doing shows. I'm out here doing shows with no label, no nothing. I'm straight, right? So why would I rush to put an album out? Why would I stop my time to put out 10, 16, 20, however songs for one project, right? When I could just shoot these loose records out here and stay cracking and be in the mode of whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like they won't do it at all. I just see more artists like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna just drop these records. Like, what's the point of waiting for me to be like, I'm gonna put this album out when I just dropped 14 records on you niggas this year? Yeah. And they all do, and I'm on tour, and I'm on all the hottest tours. I'm recording with all the dope rappers. I'm doing all the things, the necessary things, without an album. Like, so why would I stop by trying to put one together? You know what I mean? And I get it. The artist in me still gonna do that, or the artists in certain artists are still gonna do that. But these young niggas are changing this game by drastically every day. These niggas don't even feel like doing shit. They like, nigga, I'm not doing all that. I want to put this song out, nigga. I make $5,000 at the club last week, and I'm gonna do this today. You got a nigga like 21 Savage getting 60 racks a show. How many albums he put out? He put out one. He got the Issa album. Like,
this is second album, right?
Huh?
I think this is second.
Right.
Album.
We get 60 a show as your second album, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. That's a lot on it. Like, and he don't have to do it. I'm just saying, like, it just seemed like we get into, and I definitely agree with what you're saying too. Like, no, it's not. It's definitely not going away. You know what I mean? I just see more artists doing loosies, doing loosies out there. Like, man, popping.
It's dope because it's getting to where you can do, like, you can kind of survey your audience and your target audience and be like, yo, I can be this type of artist. In the beginning, you remember, like, man, you knew a motherfucker from the way he rapped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he rapped. And who he rapped like. Mm. You rap like Cool G rap. You like Cool G rap.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you from
there. You
from Queens.
Right.
It was regional. You could break it all down. There was a method to it to some degree for that because it wasn't a whole lot of options, or at least it wasn't defined what the options were.
Right.
Now you like, I'm grown. I don't listen to little kid hip hop. But then my son is another age group, and he don't listen to what my niece listen to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just different levels of the shit. And some of them is like, I only do the songs that I'm gonna perform. All the other shit is, I don't have no story to tell by an album.
Right.
I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of trapping. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trapping. Then you got other people who know, like, nah, I'm building a career, so, like, I'm putting it together as a project so people can remember me for
Catalog
this
and all
project,
that,
that project. I can have a catalog, because you're never going to be known really song by song like that in your career. If you go a long time, it's old boy who sung that song. Like, people don't even know the names to songs half the time.
Right.
So I think some of them artists is not thinking about longevity. They just getting show money, and they just know, like, it's kind of like a trap. They get it like a trap, which is
And
cool.
see, and I'm glad you said that, because I kind of look at it like that too. Like, these dudes aren't thinking about. I won't say they're thinking about longevity. I'm saying, well, no, okay, they're not thinking about longevity, but I don't think they're not thinking about it as I don't care, right? I'm saying they literally not even thinking about that shit. They like, man, I'm popping. Look at Yachty. Yachty like, my nigga, my family straight. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. I got bread, my family straight. All this lyrics and your shit y'all talk about, I don't give a fuck about no lyrics. I don't care about Primo. I don't care about the history of hip hop, nigga. I'm out here paid. My family straight, nigga. I got Target deal. I got a fucking Doublemint deal. He like, nigga, that's what I'm on. And you're influencing, you're inspiring a lot of kids to be on that. Like, a lot of niggas are like, yo, this is a trap. Like, because what y'all fell in love for, we didn't fall in love for that. When niggas was preaching art, being dope, and legacy, right? That's what we fell in love with. These niggas right now are preaching like, get your money. I'm not saying like we wasn't teaching get your money then, but it was more options of more artists doing legacy shit.
But you know what? And this is where, as a 90s nigga, sometimes 90s niggas don't be fucking with me on this one perspective. But I feel like, and when I listen to the young dudes, this is where maybe all my respect for them kind of come from. You know what I mean? Which is like, in a certain, and I don't mean like just completely,
right,
but to some degree, like the 90s, like the mid to late 90s hip hop, where like all lyrics, like when like, I say when Rakim started being a thing, KRS-One started being a thing, right? Battles, who won the battle started being a thing. They kind of start selling out what it is to be about the projects they got coming and really who got lyrics. But it wasn't really that. You feel what I'm saying? So we think about a real MC as somebody who will bar you down, who got lyrics, who got bars, who, you feel what I'm saying? But like, if you take it to what it was a DJ with like Busy Bee and cats like that, who doing what the kids doing now more, which is like, dude, just put the beat on. I'm a barely, you feel what I'm saying? Like some shit that if you look back on all them rappers like Schoolie D and all that, you could clown them and say that everything you say about these dudes.
Right, but you know what I think the difference is? It's the reason why niggas are calling 90s era the golden era. They're not talking about the 80s era the golden era.
But it's built on that.
Yeah, man, it's built on that, yeah.
MC mean master of ceremony, not master of lyricism.
I got it, but it's like gang banging, right? It's like, we talking about gang banging, I can talk about the killing the niggas beefing now. I can't give you the story on how the Panthers broke up and there was niggas out here lost, so Crips stand for Community Revolutionaries in Progress. I can't give you that story. That doesn't even matter. Niggas, we gonna take it to the 80s and get rid on why this shit is what it is now, right?
But if you from the golden era and you shitting on them,
what golden era though?
Well, people call it golden era, like the 90s. Like people call it the 90s.
The 90s, right?
Yeah.
But you know, but we did that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
The over-marketed era of the hip-hop shit when it started getting sold out is the 90s.
But see, that's
Sprite commercials and fucking Adidas contracts and fucking Looney Tunes shit.
But even that's subjective because if we started from there, nigga, when Beat Street came into play, this was doing the same shit. When Electric Boogaloo was coming to play, I was a nigga. The white chick coming in there with the ballet on the beach dancing.
I don't know if that's the same thing.
It's totally the same thing. We're talking about selling out the culture of what it was.
No, advancing through opportunities to do bigger things where you got to compromise is not the same as
that's subjective.
Making different content because you're getting sponsored.
No, that's subjective.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
How?
Kelly dancing with Electric Boogaloo, my nigga.
Dude, you got to, like, you're not going to get your opportunities how you want, right?
I got that.
Especially in that time. Like, a person doing hip-hop parties, they was throwing us the lie. You probably know, like, I know you know too, like, oh, you can't do a hip-hop show here unless you got hip-hop insurance. What the fuck is hip-hop insurance? That shit ain't even real.
Right.
But niggas used to be breaking shit up and fucking it up to where they just have to have a reason not to fuck with you.
Right.
So the terms you're going to get on is not going to be telling the true story with just like the all-black cast in the fucking 90s. That was the only way it was going to get on TV, and it got to get on TV because we got to get this shit from being some backyard scratching the record shit to some world-dominant music. Like, some of that shit got to happen. The Sprite shit probably got to happen,
right.
But when you changing your raps, you feel what I'm saying, and you rapping for sponsorships, and the raps is about the bottle of shit, we made that shit up, and that shit is kind of selling it out.
Well, I mean, and that's subjective. And the reason why I say it is because...
You allowed to say shit is subjective.
Dude, because how I look at shit may be different. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who think like this. Just like you're not the only one who think like that, right?
But you're not allowed to think like that.
I'm not allowed to think like that? I'm like, what? What happened? But what I'm saying is that like we took the 90s to go in there we said that was the real shit, right? When niggas started rapping, it wasn't that bang it ain't shit that Busy Beanie was doing. Right, which was the original shit.
Right.
I'm not disrespecting that at all. I'm just saying when it MCing, that all that shit changed, evolved. If that's what you want to say, right?
You know, it's the same when they talk about like different slavery type shit. Like, no, what are you talking about? We just came in there. They weren't doing really shit. We had.
That's not the same, dog. That's not the same.
It's the story of the winner. Like, yeah, the battle and the gangster shit won. So now the story is like, oh, we had to do it like this.
Dude, the reason why I say it wasn't like that because if you take Busy B, who was basically almost scatting on the mic, basically, right? Right. But if you take like Grand Theodore Flowers and fucking what's my man name? Not Skylar Rock. The first nigga, I forgot. Like niggas was rapping, like, but them niggas was the party niggas, right? It was niggas who was rapping,
yeah,
for real rapping.
The DJ, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So them niggas was party niggas. The party niggas always get to shine. He the party nigga, right? So it wasn't like both wasn't going on, nigga. They both was going on, niggas in the '90s didn't create that form of rap. What it was, is what I'm saying.
But these kids are doing that. That's what I'm saying. They just don't got late '90s bars. Like who do?
But it ain't about that. That's not what I'm saying. See, even the kids now, the youngest now, whatever, not all, right? But it's a thing where our generation on up respected everything that came before, right? That's how you learn to navigate through what this shit is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you got a young nigga like, nah, fuck that. Who? Primo, fuck that shit.
But okay, now wait. Let's say this. Remember this difference though.
Huh?
Our the niggas before was like our older brother's age because hip hop was new. They the ones before is they parents. They like I don't want to listen to fucking Snoop because my mom listened to Snoop.
My nigga, right. I get the gap.
Although they do at the end when they get older.
I get the gap. Right.
Different gap.
Right, but even there's still a different gap from Snoop to Lil Wayne to them.
Yeah.
There's still a little gap. So niggas just not respecting nothing, which is fine to me.
Young niggas respect Lil Wayne as the god, I think.
Nah, no more. No, that's another generation. That's over.
How old is my man? 17. Oh, come on, man. Hey, is Lil Wayne the god when it comes to this rap shit?
Some say he is, some say he isn't. That's probably just because he don't make music like he used to anymore.
What do you say?
I say that he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that he is.
Now, who's the guy you like now?
My favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Game.
Okay, what about in your age range? Like somebody young, new?
You can't force somebody to like somebody's age.
Drake.
No, I'm just going through them.
I'm good
no,
with the
Drake.
game.
I'm saying like, okay, no.
I think I answered that correctly.
No, that was a good. That was a good answer for him. I'm just saying now, who's on his radar?
I would say Drake.
Okay, see, that was important.
Yeah.
Drake.
I like some of the other artists. You know, I still mess with some of the songs that they put out, even though they talk about nothing.
Okay.
What was Lil Wayne's last shit where he was hot? Would that be Carter?
How hot? Because the
Before,
Magnolia thing is out now.
Was it Carter
The
4?
Playboy Cardi remix of Magnolia is out now.
What?
And he got one he just dropped.
Who?
Lil Wayne.
No.
It's called Magnolia. He redid
Right,
Playboy
not that,
Cardi
not that.
story.
We talking about when he was hot, though.
Hot?
You talking about when Lil Wayne was Lil Wayne. When he was like, okay, he can't do no wrong. Was it the Carter 4?
What is that, where Millie was out?
Yeah, when the Millie was out, like around there. When him and Jay and him and, then. That was Carter 3, Carter 4? Carter 4. I don't know. Right? Yeah. Carter 3? I
think 3,
right?
yeah.
Carter 3, right?
Yeah.
Carter 3 came out when? How old were you when Carter 3 came out?
I was 8 years old.
8?
That came out
He was
in 08.
8 years old, my nigga.
No,
Yeah.
that didn't come out in 08, did it?
It did.
He was 8 years old.
promise
when-
you.
Oh, he knows. You see the confidence? I just
did.
got to believe him.
I can't believe that
He
came
was
out in
8 years old.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's when you had Got Money, Lollipop, A Million.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's all in the 08 era.
So
No, Go DJ, that's like 04.
That's before that.
That's
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
before
that's,
that, yeah.
that's,
Oh,
way,
my God,
that's
he got-
before Lil Wayne became Lil Wayne.
see what I'm saying, my point is, right, he was even younger. Like,
Right.
Like when you talk about when you're grasping on artists, I'm not trying to tell you how old you should be grasping artists and taking them in like these are niggas or whatever. But he was 8, my nigga. Like when you come into your teens in high school and you live this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I got doggy style in junior high in high school. Like I got doggy style like 13. Like I had dog tape, right?
Right.
And I'm like, nigga, I'm talking about I listen to it, learn all the words, and know the whole shit. I remember my dad went to go stand in line at Tower Records at midnight to go get it. Then he couldn't listen to it, so my mom, he snuck in the house and gave it to me because my mom wouldn't let him listen to that shit in the house, right? It's a different kind of way I grasped that music, right? He was 8, my nigga. Like he was like he almost had to be. I'm not gonna tell you your life, but he almost had to be taught about Lil Wayne was the God. Because at 8, do you know that about rap?
Nah.
He just said, nigga, that's what they say. Niggas my age range say that Lil Wayne is the nigga. When you come to Eris and somebody is the man, you can't speak on 93, 94 without saying Snoop was the nigga. I don't give a
Okay.
fuck what coast you come from.
So you say that to say what?
What I'm saying is he's even younger than he just know.
Right.
Some niggas just know history, which is actually fucking good because he's that rare young individual.
Because he knew the fucking songs and all
And I like
types
that
of
though.
shit. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is a lot of youngers they don't give a fuck. Like they don't. They just like, and which is fine because I like the rebelliousness in it. Really, when I'm looking at it, I like the rebelliousness and how youngers just like on their own shit. Like, nigga, like I love how Tyler the Creator came in the game.
Right.
Like, nigga, I'm not fucking with none of these niggas. I'm making my own flyers. Nigga, fuck you old niggas because y'all wasn't fucking with me.
Yeah.
Nigga, y'all be on me about this 666 shit, and he don't even give a fuck about that shit. He's
Yeah.
just fucking with y'all. Like,
Yeah.
I love who he's on, and then I love what he turned into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I love that. It's
Me
not
too.
like I'm fighting that. It's just that a lot of niggas don't give a fuck, and we did. You know what I mean? So how do we maintain that? So when I talk about back to
Did
the original,
we?
What?
Wait, give a fuck about what?
We before
Okay.
we didn't
Well, culturally,
culturally, yeah,
yeah,
we did,
yeah.
we did.
Yeah. I guess we did.
We
Nigga,
couldn't, but
I
look,
just feel like it
we
was right
couldn't-
on our heels.
We couldn't wait to go get the actual package to read who did what and what sound and what producer used
We
this
did
sound
all
and
that
what-
shit.
Yeah,
But we didn't really have a lot of other shit going on.
We did though.
So outside, like all this was new media.
Hip hop was split up too. So so you liked, like I say, I'm one of my rappers. Love the Dog Pound the same way I love the Juice Crew, like because I was on my shit. Like niggas who love the Dog Pound did not love the Juice Crew. Like, and I'm a West Coast nigga.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I was
Right.
just on my shit though.
Right,
Like,
right.
so hip hop was divided. Like, nigga, if you was into gangster shit, you knew nothing about Project Blowed and nothing about. I'm not talking about Project Blowed niggas. I'm talking about niggas who just into gangster shit.
Oh no, I fuck with both. Yeah.
No, I got that. But
Yeah.
you are of the kind of
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that, it didn't go the other way. Niggas who fuck with Quick and the Red Tape and niggas who knew about Dog and them first coming out or Easy E and shit like that did not know about Freestyle Fellowship.
Dude.
They didn't know about Casual with A+ and all that. They didn't know about none of that.
Man, I'm an amen. That I mean, you gotta. So, I managed Project Blow Records for fucking 15 years. You feel what I'm saying? Well, and somewhere or another for 15 years, but about like 10 years. And people I grew up with, we wouldn't be talking about that shit. I wouldn't like, almost damn near never bring it up. It was more like, we don't even know what my nigga do. We just know he working music.
Right.
Because I already know exactly what you're saying.
Right.
Like, it's like, nah, it didn't cross over. But these dudes now, they got access to listen to everything and have every song.
Well, we got social media.
And Apple Music and all that, Rhapsody, and just like,
You know, social
the
media
level
does.
of discovery is on another level than where we was at.
You know what social media does? Social media puts everybody in the world in the same room.
Right.
Literally. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just puts us all in the same room. And we all get to figure out what shit we like and pick and pull from shit we like. When we didn't have social media, nigga, we had to hear about it. And I wasn't kicking it with nobody who listened to that or who knew about that. Like, you know what I mean? So social media, I get to find it on my own. Oh, shit. This song was dope that came down my timeline that somebody else was fucking with. That somebody followed me and told me to look up or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I just back to the original point, right? With the way music is going. You know, it's like forever changing. It's like now we're on streaming. We got singles going, selling millions, and some niggas fucking with that. Some niggas still doing albums and shit like that, whatever. But I'm just looking at it like, it seems like I watched the Defiant documentary, right? And Jimmy Iovine. You seen it?
So good.
It was
I
incredible. I
just
thought
finished it
incredible.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, mind blowing.
So remember Jimmy Iovine was talking about how, first of all, he'd been retired in music. A lot of niggas didn't even know that, right?
Right.
He retired in music years ago because when he got into tech shit, right? He started getting into tech shit, and he was like, "Fuck this! I'm on this, or all this new shit. Like I'm on that." Like, because we're fucked. The game as we know it is over. Remember he found out about Napster, right? He said the game is over. The music industry is fucked, right? He thought, no, I'm out of here because this shit's fucked up. So if now, as far as we see it today with streaming, with Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, and all that shit like that, do you guys see it like more of a decline?
I don't see it on a decline. I see it as artists have to evolve into more of an experience as opposed to just an artist anymore in order to thrive, in order to have a career and longevity and make money. Like in the Defiant Ones, how Jimmy was talking to Drain, he's like, man, fuck sneakers. Like, fuck sneakers. We need to do tech. We need to, you know what I mean? Like, artists have to be a lot smarter, I think, nowadays in the creation of their team and the people they keep around them. Because, you know, if you keep the same people that don't evolve and they're used to, okay, we're going to get the show money and we're going to get the touring money and we're going to do singles and that's all they know, that's all you ever know.
Right.
You know, like you're essentially settling for a 9-to-5 job where you have a set salary every year. You know you're going to be attaining that, as opposed to knowing that you have a career and every year you should be advancing as so. So I don't see it as we're fucked by any means. I just think, you know, people are gonna have to really treat artists as an experience and be very mindful of the teams that they're building and how they're structuring the way that they're creating the revenue stream through the music.
Right.
Because music is ever evolving, but it's also something that unites every single person on every single level.
Right.
So there's nothing, in my opinion, more powerful than music.
Right.
And how it unites and how people react. And, you know, you watch documentaries on old people and how music is just the thing that makes them react, or babies, you know, like from infancy all the way until death, music is part of us. So I don't see us ever fully getting away where there's no money to be made, but it's more so it's either going to be a 9-to-5 music career or it's or 9-to-5 music job, or you're going to have an artist career.
So what does that, and anybody can answer this question, what does that say for the major label? Like, you know, and
I think the time for the major label is quickly coming to a halt because for so many years they manipulated the game. They didn't really buy into profit sharing the correct way with the artists. So now that artists have everything at their fingertips and they don't necessarily need the major labels, then I say I salute it. You know, it's time. But at the same time, depends on your grind. How hard do you want to grind? Some people will go to the slave mentality, which is if you want somebody to do everything for you that a label
Right.
provides, all the label services, then you go get a deal. Like, but a lot of artists that I deal when we had this conversation, like they don't want to do everything that it takes to be
Right.
successful. The same thing Melissa said. All the different revenue streams that are attractive to these companies to give to somebody that's popping, because you want to pop so much that these companies come looking for you
Right.
to market stuff through you. So if you're not willing to put in the work, then go the old route. But
Now that's an interesting point, because so essentially a lot of people now are looking for these marketing dollars and this branding big experience and the big wigs to come in and put money into shit they got going on, right? So for artists who kind of is hitting the lick, he's kind of like, yo, I'm getting these checks, I'm getting this money, right? When the big wig, because the big wig's going to keep coming. Whatever our culture always can sell. Right? Everything in our culture sells, right? So when the rapper is the new hot rapper, he got the big song out, right? And that song is millions and millions of streams, or whatever. And then John Singleton comes along and puts him in the movie, right? And that movie is the hit movie now, right? And he just made something that was way more than rap from that.
Yeah.
And he might be out there on auditions and doing. It's like Prob. Prob goes on many auditions, and look to get these roles and stuff like that, you know. And he's going to lock something in, and then he's going to see, which he already knows, that money pays way more different than this money. It's kind of like, what does that do for your passion when you be doing something for so long? Or maybe it's not your passion. You know what I mean? And these checks are triple what you're seeing on a regular. You know, do you kind of abandon what you started on? Are we seeing people like looking, because we're looking for the marketing dollars for film, television, all this shit like that. But nigga, if Lil Yachty is getting Sprite commercials, nigga, he got a Target deal and some more shit, and these are paying handsomely, why keep rapping?
I think
I
it's
mean,
like
that's
you
dope.
said earlier is you have to evolve. Like what I focus on now is completely different than what I focused on 10 years ago.
Right.
Like I only deal with artists now that if they're going to be signed to me, that they have to talk about something. You have to talk about something that's going to be attractive to license stuff for
right.
film, license stuff for television. If it's, I'm not looking at the money for the shows and the little other ventures. Like I'm going after something to place in film and television and marketing situations.
I do that.
And I also think like one doesn't come without the other for artists. You know what I mean? Like it's what you've done in music that gets you
Right.
what's going on in TV, that gets you cracking in film. And the artists that get that, in my own opinion, are the ones that are passionate about music, and you never see them completely stray. You know, like DJ Khaled, he's still passionate about music, but you see him in commercials and you see him in movies, and like he hasn't stayed away from what his number one passion is. Nick
Right.
Cannon, he's evolved into a business person. He has Wildin' Out and everything else. He's still in the studio, still doing his thing. Danny Glover, Childish Gambino, you know, like he's doing his acting, but still coming back to music. Just put out, you know, a smash again. So I think, you know, for the artists that are really in it because of the passion, and those are always the ones that are successful and able to evolve into other business ventures, music's always going to be their core, and music's always going to be what elevates them to those other opportunities, and I think they all know that.
I do that. What do you think, Mr. Badru?
I think it's just dope for the artist. You know, like if you make if you make more money doing something else, maybe that'll put your art in a place where you don't got to think in terms of money when you make it. That's already another win. You know, like, man, I don't even got to do this record.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can do it to promote my brand because my brand is attached to music.
Right.
But, like, when I feel like going in there in terms of, like, you know, like deadline-wise, you know what I mean? Like, you can get in there and do what you want when you want, you know what I mean? And work with the people you want to and have some time, you know.
You know, it's kind of like what you're saying is kind of like a double-edged sword because, you know, you become like kind of like, I mean, I get to it when I want to because I'm straight over here, right?
Right.
But then the flip side is, like you said, you get to do what you want at that point. Work with the artists you want, pick producers you want. You fuck around, make your dopest record ever, because you actually did everything you wanted to do instead of worrying about the pressures of making fucking money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was listening to Andre 3000. I don't know if y'all seen, he just put out a statement about basically not rapping no more.
Oh, what?
He's just like, yeah, man. He's like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not really feeling it. You know, I love it if I love what I've done, but you know, I'm doing other things.
Andre
3000. He said, I love it. But I'm really doing other things. He said, I'm not. He said, if we never do another Outkast album ever again, I'm fine with that. He said, I'm cool with that. I kind of like. He said, I never wanted to be 40 and 50 rapping. He said, I commend. I mean, I applaud the niggas who are 40 and some of my age and still rapping. He said, I'll be wondering like where the fuck they finding their passion from, because I don't even want to do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, some people are on that. He's just like, yo, I'm not really fucking with that shit anymore.
I can get that. Even though I think he one of the best. He one of my top.
Easy. He should be everybody, but that's subjective.
Yeah, that's a different
but
everything's subjective. Right.
He should be one of the great. But yeah, it's just tricky, man. With this business, I guess it's just kind of like what you want to do and how you move. And it's always going to be somebody new to change the game and shape the culture for how it goes and how it's supposed to be. I guess. You know, it's just, and the record labels catch up. It's like Dylan. It's like dope dealing. It's like, you know, the job, we set the traps, we make the moves, the police try to catch us. And they find out, oh, they niggas dig tunnels, so we stop digging tunnels and we take it over the air. Oh, these niggas are flying planes. Now they catching the planes, now we on the water with it. So it's with the game, it's like that's how the label and artists are. You know, artists found out a way to be independent and get their money and do other shit outside of that. The record stopped selling. The niggas is doing other shit, so the labels, okay, well, 360 deal then. We need some involved. We need some all of it. And now niggas is like, with streaming cracking, which was great for the artists and great for the record label, actually, because I heard that the record labels for the first time in years are actually in the black now, with streaming doing so well because they've been in the red for so many years, whatever, which is actually good for everybody. But now artists are like, hey, I kind of don't need no record label. And looking at niggas like Chance, like, preaching that don't fuck with them, like loudly. Right. You know what I mean? He's as cracking as he is, and niggas like, man, fuck a label. You can do this on your own and be popping, like, you know what I mean? Right. You know, so it's just it's real interesting to watch where the game is going.
And it's popular to think that way now because motherfuckers been doing that.
Yeah, it is, right?
Like motherfuckers been doing that, but it's just like they able to do it and go platinum.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and they
got a Grammy.
Well, like,
you know what I mean?
We I feel like well, independent niggas was kind of getting Grammys, but not like they high profile. Like they like A-list indies.
Who?
That's the weird thing, huh?
Not rap.
Of what? Getting Grammys?
Yeah, indie. I'm talking about independent.
Yeah.
Who?
Some of the homies got Grammys. Niggas got Grammys. Medusa got a Grammy.
First of all, I'm not talking about. Okay,
Medusa got a Grammy.
Let me say this. I'm not saying that's what I mean. I'm not saying if you worked on something and did something. Okay, there's many ways to reach out and get Grammys. We're talking about how he got a Grammy for his body work on his album.
Foreign Exchange got a Grammy.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's rare. It's a rare thing. I'm not saying nobody did it.
Yeah.
That's rare. It's a nigga. Everybody ain't getting Grammys on their own body of work as an indie. It's not happening like that.
No.
Rap. I'm talking about rap.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it's somebody, but nigga, everybody ain't getting that. Like Will Smith, we know how he got his first one. That's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we not, that was different.
Yeah.
But everybody else kind of like worked and got popping and was like, nigga, I'm indie, nigga, and I got a Grammy. Fuck these niggas.
Right. But that's the nature of how, I mean, y'all, they dealing with hip hop and we like, that's all like street thinking.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm not going to sit here and let you spoon feed me money forever.
Right.
Like, everybody's, we learn that. Like, we're going to peep game, how we do that. And you're going to get that sack eventually once you figure out what he making.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers was on point system.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I give you 5 points on the album. You're like, wait, hold up. That is 15 cents.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, like, who don't say, like, wait a minute, wait. This because you know the distributors are human beings work at the distributor place?
Yeah, right.
Or is it just it's like some type of weird machine that only go to you?
Yeah, right.
Like, oh no, like I can meet them? Like,
right.
You know how Niggas got the go around
I
game.
remember, that's what I'm saying. I remember the days of niggas didn't know that. Like, remember before you heard about In Groove and Ghazi and them, right?
Yeah.
You had to be like, how is niggas getting shit on iTunes? Or how is niggas getting shit on, like,
Dude.
who was the connect? We wouldn't, remember that, when we finally found out, I remember Dash was telling us years ago, like, my nigga, I don't know why you still fucking with this lady label shit. Nigga, I'm over here in Groove, nigga, selling an album. I put out an album every week. Dash was saying when he went to Atlanta, like, I put out an album every week.
Dude, I'm telling, like, okay, as part of that, I know, like, how does it get on? We had more DIY thinking.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because I remember how I found out how to get on iTunes. I fucking kept going through all the fucking FAQs to figure out where to send the shit and find out.
Right.
That's back when phones, you could just call somebody at a business, though. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and then go to Rainbow, get your records pressed up yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but that was when Dope Money was around more.
Right.
And you would have a homie who would give you 10
right,
bands, though.
Right, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, or you knew how to sell enough CDs because nobody owned a CD press.
Right.
But there was a place you can go get your CDs made, band pressed up, Kinko's by hand with the WAP.
One of the homies had the little 4-dock CD burner.
Yeah, but before you could own one. But I'm saying before you could own one.
Right,
before
right.
when it was like this. Nah, you got to have a business to own a CD burner, my nigga. You got to be the nigga with the, because it's a thing. It's a, you feel what I'm saying? Like, but that's also when people would support albums like that and buy a $10 album CD from somebody they didn't know.
Right.
If you get them to play it in their car right there, type of, man, play it, man. Come on, man. $10, $5, $7. Them niggas was getting rich.
Hard copies now more so like memorabilia, right? What you think? Hard copies now is more so like memorabilia?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think vinyl is coming back in more of a
It
use
is.
way because people just like that vibe. They like that element.
Right.
Like when you walk, I mean, like I walked into Revolt last week and Andre Harrell, record player in his office, and there was a record going. Aubrey, one of the other guys at Revolt, record player in his office. That was going. Like I see a lot of my friends have. Like now I want one. I'm like, God damn it, I need a record player. I need a record player. I need vinyls now. Like that's how I need to play my stuff at home. So yes, memorabilia, but I also think like people are really liking that vibe of being able to like be at home or be at work and have a record player and play it on.
People want something tangible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, everything is just, niggas ain't even pressing up hard copies now. It's kind of like, why use the money for that when everybody has Apple Music, Spotify, or whatever?
But in the
And your
same sense,
laptops
like-
don't have fucking drives no more.
And your
Like,
laptop don't
I don't
have
even
drives
have
no more,
nowhere
right.
I can put a CD except for my PlayStation.
Right.
And that really want Blu-ray.
Right. Right.
So my CD may not even really flex.
All right, look, I got to change the subject. We're going to shift this whole shit. My segues be like whatever. So, all right.
Zero.
Business and relationships. Right?
Uh-oh.
And I'm talking about relationships, not like we have a business relationship.
Yeah.
Like you got a boo somewhere, like or a man somewhere, whatever, right? Right. So, and we talked about off air. We talked about what is the quintessential successful relationship, right? What does that mean, right? Does it work? And more so, is it? Were we talking about kind of like one person in the business, one person out?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
like that. Like okay, one person, like you're in the business, but your guy you fuck with is not necessarily in the business, and vice versa for the guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the? And I don't know if anyone you done with. I know you did dealt with that. Obviously, you dealt with that, but I don't know if you have dealt with that. But what are some of the negatives and positives from that? Anybody can answer anytime.
Well, for me, the negative, like I was married. I'm divorced now, but I was married, I think 2004, like right at the prime when I was working with Kanye. So, like right after I got married, like Kanye would call me like out the blue, like, "Hey, E, I need you at the studio." I might be on my way on a date. And
Right.
I'm taking my jacket off. Hey, look, you got to understand.
Right.
And I had a problem. She had a problem with that. So it didn't last but I knew myself that I can't afford to let him meet another me.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
I'm going to be out. So
Right.
I would deal with you or not deal with you.
Right.
But I'm going to
Right. I'm going to do
build
this.
my career because
Right.
this is what I was bred to do even before I met you. Like,
Right.
This is who I am.
Right.
So in that sense, it was horrible, but I know who I am and I know what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And I didn't let that affect me in my path of what I'm supposed to be doing. So it ended the marriage.
Man.
Got ended that shit.
It ended that.
Okay.
It's hard. I would say since becoming a manager, because before I started managing Prob, I was working with Jado, who's with Busta. So I was working with Busta and OT, that whole crew, for 2 years. And then I started working with Prob. I've been with Prob over a year. I think as a woman manager, for me, dating anyone outside the industry or inside the industry, men just have an issue with my role, because, and I get it, because like I've taken myself out and I'm like, man, I get it, like that's hard, because it's like when Prob calls, the phone gets answered. When Prob needs something, I'm doing it, because that's my role.
Right.
Like that's like I'm in charge of his career. I'm in charge of everything we got going on. So it's like, you know, management isn't a 9-to-5 job. It's from when I wake up until when I fall asleep. And, you know, we have a mutual respect and understanding that, like, there's, you know, he doesn't call me after midnight, or, you know, like, he knows not to bother me on the weekends and let me have my weekend time unless we have work going on and stuff like that. But I think for men, and the men I've dealt with, they look at it like, you know, I jump for that man all the time. And they're like, damn, like, you jump, like, if they feel some kind of way. And I can understand that, because I'm like, man, if I was a girlfriend of a manager who had a whole bunch of females, or even one female, like, I can see how you can feel that kind of way.
Right.
So for me, it's been no dating life since going into that, because it's like, you know, they just, anyone I've had that experience with, like, they don't like that, and they'll try to act like they're cool with it, and they'll stick around, but the longer they're around, and they're like, oh my God, like, you are forever with this dude, like, business or not, like, you know, they look at it like I'm doing for another man, and I'm putting another man before them, whether, you know, I'm getting a paycheck for that, and it's business situation or not. It's been hard for them to accept that.
You have to try hard. Do you have to do extras? Like, I got to make you know that I try as hard for you as I do for Prob.
Nah. I'm
No?
just like, all right, well, it's a wrap.
I mean, but is it like an equal? Is it an equal? Would they feel like that?
They
Like,
shouldn't feel that way, no, because like
you want to make
we
me a
already talked about
sandwich?
this. I'm a Leo. Like, even though I'm a Leo,
Right,
I'm
Leo
a
love.
lover. Like, if you're my family or if you're in a relationship with me, like I want to do everything for you. You know, like
Right.
if we have that mutual respect and trust and relationship, like I want to be that person. But again, it comes down to like, oh, you're in the studio at 12 o'clock at night. Like, what are you doing there? And there's 17 men, and it's like, I know it looks great for Problem. Like Problem, they're like, oh, okay. There's like for him and his girlfriend, it's like, oh, okay. There's no girls there. For me, it's like it looks terrible because I'm there with like 17 guys trying to get work done. You know, so yeah.
That's ill, because
It's a
it was
challenge.
crazy because you talk to your partners all the time, and you all have girls and deal with your women and different kind of shit like that, and you know that part of it, right? Your girl, you know, if I work with a singer, then I get that, like, oh, you working with such and such again? And I'm like, yeah, actually. Yeah, but she's looking at it like it's just a girl, though. She don't see her as the business relationship. She sees you with another woman spending a lot of time.
Building something.
But you never hear that side of it, the woman dealing with the guy who can't deal with that shit. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, it's just ill because it's like essentially the same shit.
Right.
Like she's dealing
and they
with the
looking
same
through
shit we go
tabloid
through.
eyes.
Huh?
They looking through tabloid eyes. It's like,
Right.
oh, you guys are like, because when Usher started working with da-da-da, he starts sleeping with her.
Right.
And then, you about to give me gonorrhea or some shit? You about to come on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know if there's some backstory, because they believe in the whole facade.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like backstories and unfolding romance and dropping a pin and kissing
Everyone's
and
so
shit.
jaded, they always feel like there's an ulterior motive. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're like, you guys can't possibly be in a business situation and not mess around. And it's
Right,
like,
you can't.
really? Why not? Why is
Right.
that
Right,
impossible?
right.
Like,
Right.
I'm confused.
Right.
You know what, though, as a man, okay, if I had to play devil's advocate, right, it's my thing. If I had to play devil's advocate, for women, you being in the business, and if I'm your guy, right, so in my mind, women who aren't in the business and then in the business, right, like you end up being around some of the most sought after guys in the world, right? When you break that down of who that is, like so, okay, you have a session with Problem, right? And Problem is in the studio with Kanye and Drake's there, and then Lil Wayne came by, and then whoever came by. Now you're in the studio with some of the most wanted niggas in the rap industry, right? For a guy, he knows guys, right? So, like, could you really tell me that nobody tried to hit, nobody tried to flirt, nobody made a little joke about the cute white girl in the corner, or nobody tried to? So, and for us, it's like we start telling ourselves this story, like girls do. You make up this story of what happened, and though it's probably crazy and none of that shit probably went down, you start to believe the story you made up. That could you imagine? Like, how does a guy deal with that? Like, and how does a girl deal with that? How do I deal with? Oh, Drake liked Melissa, and now he wants her to be his PR. He's taking on tour with you. I'm like, what? This nigga, the most lover boy ass nigga in the game, just want my lady to go on a road with him? Like, what the fuck? What does that do to me? Like, what I'm thinking, I made up a story of what happened and what's going on. You know what I mean? So I kind of, it's sucker shit. On some real shit.
But I get it.
It's sucker shit. But I
get it.
Get it also. It's like,
I get it.
It's like, nigga, like, because we know, see, it's different for niggas too. Because you guys are hunted the minute you're old enough to be anything, right? Like the guys are on a hunt for women. So being around, like, nothing's far-fetched for you. Like, if you try to tell, if I try to tell my girl, like, if I'm in the studio with fucking Nicki Minaj, right? And my girl made a joke about flirting or something like that, I'm like, babe, come on, are you serious? It's Nicki Minaj. She's not fucking looking my way at all, right? Now, that probably some real shit. She's probably not even paying attention to me. But you, girls, on the other hand, niggas is niggas, period. I don't care how rich and famous. They are men on the hunt for women. Let you be any bit of cute, pretty, cool, whatever, and the most famous niggas like, so what you doing after this? Like, that kind of shit. So now, we as a guy, we're looking at y'all like, how do you back that down? Like, how do you ask Melissa, having a boo, having a man maybe, have the most sought after niggas in the world, you know, that's on you. Like, how do you back that down? How do you be like, no, but I didn't do nothing, or I didn't want to? Like, that fucks with niggas. My girl know I love Layla Hathaway. I love Layla Hathaway. That's my wife in my head, right? Nigga, it wasn't a problem until Layla Hathaway called me to be in her video. I'm like, oh shit, look who just DM'd me for the video. Right? I told her, my girl. Layla Hathaway, nigga, immediate smile went down. My smile went up, hers went down.
Right.
Because in her mind, the story is made up. She know I love her. She knows it's my wife in my head. Like, nigga, are you going to get with her? Like, nigga, it's Layla Hathaway. I'm not getting with her. How can I do that? Right? I wouldn't be here. Nah, I'm messing with you. But, but how would you how would you get with that? But in her mind, she like, nigga, you working with her? I don't know what happened next.
Dude,
what happened now?
On God, I had the same thing with Maya, the singer Maya.
Lord have mercy.
And I love myself, and I got confidence and all that.
Right.
And it's weird to talk somebody down from saying, like, Maya's not fucking. I don't want to even say Maya's not fucking with me. Right. I wanted to fuck with Maya. But I don't want to have relationship problems when Maya is not even giving me no time of day.
Right.
And literally it was like, did you ever, like, it wasn't even it was just like, did you ever fuck with Maya? Like, it was just a whole Maya thing. So that shit, but it's fantasy, and they build it up to where, like, if you have any part of it, they think anything is possible.
Can it be? Can you have we talk about that. I guess we got to define it too. Can you have a successful relationship with somebody on the outside of business and somebody on the inside who got a lot going on?
I think it all depends on the people, you know? Like, I think that's why it's harder for people that work in entertainment to find a successful relationship and have both. You can have both, but it's just a matter of being able to do so. Because especially in the music industry, people are so intrigued by the music industry, and they think all of this crazy stuff happens, and you see a lot of the behind from the music industry. If you think about the acting world and film and those celebrities and those entertainers, you don't see the behind, but with music, you see a lot of the behind, because that's where people get most excited, is seeing what's happening in the studio and seeing you working with certain people. So it's like, bitches and dudes be on their phone, like looking at stories, like trying to zoom in and see like who's in the background at the studio, and you know. So I think you can, but then in the other sense of it, I'm like, God, maybe like someone else who manages would be a better fit for someone like me that gets that understands, you know what I mean? But then I'm like, but maybe
that
not.
Might be too much information.
Right, exactly. But then
I know what goes on.
Yeah. So it's like
I think it can, but you got to be in an interracial relationship.
That's interesting.
And I'm gonna
now
be
we're
winning.
here. Now we're here.
Yeah.
So
I think you already come in like.
You're like, yeah.
Well, I concur with that as a fan of interracial relationships.
I'm just saying, because I think, first of all, if you in one, you already coming in knowing, like, I don't know what your shit's supposed to go like. So now everything's on the table. But when you with somebody who got all these assumptions,
right,
you don't even you're not covering shit that needs to be covered.
That's deep, dog.
I
never thought about that.
Asian fetish confirmed. Anybody want to get there? Whatever. Little Brazilian, there you go.
That's deep, dog. I never thought about it. It's a different. I can't. She can't. That was interesting as fuck. Like, you can't really fathom kind of like what goes on, because you don't even understand the lifestyle. You see it from the outside or whatever you probably.
I got to tell you everything.
Right.
You got to take my word for everything. Worst thing you need is your girl who assumes she get it all.
Damn. That was deep. And what else was interesting was the point you made when you said how in the music industry, you pretty much see everything behind the scenes. We have shows like Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, that deal with all the same kind of shit, right? And you kind of see the whole, what hip hop is behind it. Everybody's in the studio on their phones. You don't see like actors behind the scenes showing what goes on a set. So actors being in the movies and films is still kind of mysterious, somewhat, right?
They got to break a law.
Huh?
They got to break a law.
They got to break the law for you to get like the inside information on them, right? But music is kind of wide open. So
it's like it's through the looking glass. Like, we're a fishbowl in this industry, but that's what sells. Like, you want people to know who's in the studio with you. You want people to know you're on the grind, because think about how long it takes. Like, yeah, you can make a song in one session, but then when you go through all the steps to get that shit rolled out, you're looking at like minimum a week, maybe.
Right,
if you're super quick and fat and you're just throwing the shit out, okay, maybe a few days. But there's so much time that comes in between things. Like, people want to make sure the public knows, like, I'm in here working. This is who I'm working with, you know. So we're through the looking glass in this industry.
And the producers get all the leeway. You ever notice that? Like, I think they got the most success because, like, EP would probably say better than me, of course, but rap niggas need to get home.
Yeah.
I always notice, like, the rap dude who, like, let me, could you burn this on CD so I can kind of show my girl when a song got done.
Finish the verse tomorrow.
Yeah, but the producer, like, man, I had to lay the track. This nigga took like 9. Like, they accept everything from the producer. And the producers be doing the most fuck shit.
The producers do the most fucking.
Yeah, because they there all the time. Put EP on blast. Yeah.
Look, man, I always say it's kind of like the whole pheromone female-male relationship thing. Because I always say, look, you put a producer who usually works, if I saw that producer, right? Say if EP worked on him and Brandy working together, right, on a project, and he's producing a majority of the project, right? So he's in the studio every day, him and Brandy. It's gonna be a lot of time just him and Brandy, right? Writing, going over songs, notes and shit, going back and forth with shit like that. A different kind of bond is formed when you're doing that kind of shit, right? That's why more producers fat. These niggas be back in there. They don't do shit but sit down, make beats, and eat. The runners bring food all day, right? You notice that, like, so a cat like EP. You know, you'll fuck around here by him, not you per se, use it for an example, right? Fucking this person, because it's the whole male and female thing. We can't kick it that long going through that kind of deep shit. And I'm talented, I'm intelligent, I got bread. Like, I'm the nigga your mom's probably telling you about.
And women are attracted to power too. So
and women are attracted to power.
Man.
So
right?
Absolutely.
Right? That's real shit.
Especially like if you're a powerful woman on your own, like you're not
Right.
no
Now you
fuck
look-
shit.
So and see, so you go into it, not you per se, but you too, go into it kind of like on some power couple shit, like we can do
Hell
together.
yeah, some like Bonnie and Clyde,
See?
Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah,
Real shit.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
when you,
He's stupid.
but see, that's only good when she really do work.
Right.
A lot of time, women who don't work equal to, what's your position? You're CEO, so you don't have to feel anything
I own
about.
my company and I manage Problem.
Okay, see, so you're in a different league than what I'm talking about.
I
I
know.
feel like, no, I'm about to talk about another. I feel like all publicists are just there to find a man.
Oh.
Like, remember I told you, like,
said it right,
publicist
right.
is not a real position. That's not. That's like I'm trying to marry somebody famous in some way or another, and I'm willing to get him a few interviews in the process.
Right,
You feel what I'm saying, like, or whatever. So when I see them, I'm like, I never respect it. I never respect it, and they be taking the producers down because the producers got the leeway to do everything.
Right.
So I don't know. I think your relationship could work if you don't fuck with a producer and you fuck with a singing ass nigga, because they take you to the studio. Look, I gotta get over here. I'm like, if you don't fuck with a producer. And I'm the one who said interracial. What the fuck? But he got the suit.
Right.
It don't matter.
That's some ill shit. Now, okay, how much is that? Let me ask you from your point. Shit, if we can talk candid and openly here,
Yeah.
right?
Because I got a super
it.
question after you ask this.
Okay,
I'm an
so
open book.
how much does?
As long as you ask.
I wonder how much does, and I guess you chime in too if you got input on this, right? How much does race play in this game, right? And I'm talking about rap game, right? And basically what I'm saying is like, is there such thing as an edge with certain things, whether business or the way people are perceived, the way you're looked at? Some people, you know how some people are with certain people. We'll get on the phone and, hey, how you doing? Whatever. You're like, why are you talking like that?
I can't take that.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you talking like that? Because you're talking to, and you're white, they quote unquote white voice, right?
Right.
But in this game, you deal with a lot of rappers and people, managers and promoters and all kind of shit like that. I even noticed promoters talk to even you different than they would like a Lou Dog.
Oh yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? They would. It's like, and kind of like, is that like is it a plus for somebody like Melissa, right? Who makes the move? She makes CEO. She got Prob as a client. You got a couple other clients too, also. And does her shit like? Does she have an edge, being that she's not black in this game?
I don't think I have an edge. At all. Because there's a lot of things that I go through that.
And not to discredit your work, you a fucking hustler. I get that.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, absolutely. But like where some people might be like, oh, you go do it and you go talk to them because like they'll feel more comfortable with you. You know, like that's how people assume.
Right.
And people may feel more comfortable. That's their thing. But for me, I go through a lot of shit being a white woman in this industry. You know, like from taking Prob to the club and like a lot of the chicks that'll be around that like don't like me around or may not even know me, like spilling drinks on me to
doing extra out shit.
like to like when I go in a room with Problem, like there's a lot of people that won't even acknowledge me or address me because they think like either I'm like a side chick that came along to just like hang out and check things out for the day, or I'm an assistant. And it's not until he lets people know like this is my manager Melissa that like their tone changes all of a sudden. They're like, oh, what's up, da-da-da. Like I've been pressed by a lot of people in the industry. I just had an incident happen last week to me with a man in an incident out here, and I was by myself, and it was like I had to like fend for my own on it because it's like some men in this industry don't like dealing with women, and the reason why, in my opinion again, is when it comes to females and men, like y'all date women. So it's like when you have a disagreement with your woman and you're not seeing eye to eye, like you take it a certain way and like you're coming back at her because you feel like you're getting backed into a corner in some way of the sense because she's not agreeing with you and you guys aren't seeing eye to eye. So I think a lot of
it's kind of like flex of power. They flexing that power.
have an issue with how to take the fact that like this is a female and she's pressing me and I'm gonna come back and press her because like you're not gonna back me in a corner. Like they switch into that mentality of like I'm the baby mama or like I'm the girlfriend that's like fighting.
Hold up, bitch. Like hold up, bitch. Hold up, bitch. Yeah.
You know, like 'cause
That
I look at it and I'm
mentality.
like, I bet if I was a man standing here and we were having this issue, like you wouldn't be trying to hit me below the belt because I'm not hitting you below the belt.
Right,
So,
okay.
Why are you feeling some
Okay.
kind of way because you're in the wrong? I'm calling you in the wrong. Like it's constructive criticism. I'm not whiling, but you're whiling and you're like shooting shots below the belt, and I don't get why we're going there.
Right.
You know, so I think like a lot of times it's difficult just as a woman, race aside, you know, and I don't have the edge because I'm like, fuck my life. Like, seriously? Like, well, fuck me. Like, here I go again. You know, like, and with like booking and touring and stuff with problems, dealing with those guys, like it's like me, Lou Dog, and Prob. You think they want to deal with me? They're like, get out of the way. Like, we're not, and that, like, that's frustrating, you know, like, because I'm the one that is going to count the money. I'm the one that needs to handle the situation. When you're being like, I'm not going to work with her, I want to talk to him, it's like, but why?
Right.
Like, well, why?
I can see that in some instances, but I think in some instances, I would much rather send you in the building than myself. Like, for instance, if I'm looking to get a film or to meet the music supervisor at Fox or at what, I'd rather send you in the building as opposed to me going in there myself. But when you say the club and the promoters and all that, I get that part of it.
I guess it's
So
contingent on worlds, you know,
yeah,
like
so
different instances.
exactly.
I was gonna say that's interesting because it's like it's a dynamic. It's a different a different between the two. Now for him, it would be an edge. Now for you, I get how you don't see that, right? Maybe not, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Like you know, because you know the negatives with being a woman first in general, right? Because it's funny, like the stuff you're saying was happens to women. Period. Like I know women managers who are women and go through that same shit, and I'm like, white or not, like they go through that. Niggas trying to flex because they're women, or whatever the case may be, trying to scare them or whatever. And women usually don't fall for that shit. But a nigga try to press that line because she's, you know, they look at them as dainty little women, and I don't want to deal with this, with that male controlling shit. But then that aspect, what EP is saying, is kind of like, yeah, I totally would do that. Like I totally would, if I got a fucking meeting with T-Mobile on some commercial shit, and they want me to do a campaign for a commercial song for the whole shit. Like Melissa's going. Like, hey, Melissa, I need you to be who you are and in here because you're not gonna do nothing. You're gonna do what you do. Like we don't need you to act, but we know it's different than my big black ass walking in there trying to talk to somebody on some shit, and we understand kind of like the edge of it. But both ways gonna get the money. We're not tripping on that. You know what I mean? But that's kind of interesting though. It's a different dynamics of that with the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just crazy. So I really don't know where to go after this. So
You know what? I had a question. This is an odd question.
right. Talk about
We
that.
went away from the relationship shit,
Okay.
but
We
I
can go
always
back,
think
though.
about this when I ever have dealt with women who in the industry, or in any industry, like in any industry where there's other dudes. I guess every industry got dudes, but where there's some type of stature, like you a police officer or you this or that. But managing especially. So how much say so does Prob get on the guy? Like, nah, no, you can't date him.
None.
Oh, zero?
you know what though? That's
No.
wow. If you, wait, hold up. That's deep. And when I say now, that probably hasn't happened, right? None, right? I get it.
No, because since I've been managing Problem,
Right.
I've had an issue with that side of my life.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell?
Because he's not approving.
Nah, because people are probably afraid of Prob. They're like, I'm good.
No, you know,
ain't
but
gonna
you know, but
holler
don't
at
see,
her.
don't since this is what happens, right? Because we know usually, not all women, right? But we know even when you talk to your homegirls, right? Your homegirl get a man, you know she disappear mode. No more rounds. She's on that. Her and her nigga, right? It's no more her doing regular shit. She's on that, right? And not to say that, and I'm not even saying this is what you were saying with her and the guy, but this is a different side of it too. Like, you get a man, then you start to be like, okay, balance. Like, do I do this or do I do prime shit? Right? You know what I mean? When from our perspective, we like, nigga, no, like that, no, he waits. Like, this is the money, right? This is the money we do, you know. But females tend to balance that out. Like, you know what I mean? Start, even if it come to lying. I'm not saying you would do it, but even if it come to, oh, I got family shit, but you know you with your dude. Like, you know, oh, I got a emergency but you know you with your man.
Or when they intersect.
Or I can't get in touch with you all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you did not get my phone call.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like, man, where were you? Oh, I just didn't hear it. For the first time ever in life, you didn't hear my phone call? Like, that kind of shit happens when females get a man.
And again, though, but going back, like, I've been a business owner, starting my management thing for 6 years now, and just like I said when I touched on past relationships, like, the people I have dealt with have had an issue because, like, I keep my shit right. You know what I mean? I'm responsible for my paycheck, everyone in the company's paycheck. Like, I'm responsible for income, and I realize that. So it's like, that always has to come first and foremost, you know? So it's like, me personally, I feel like I'm a good person of balance that gets that. I mean, would I listen to Prob if he was like, I feel like, you know, this guy is pulling you away and blah, 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 blah. Like, Prob's my business partner, but I mean, we've also become best friends over the last year and a half because, like, we do spend so much time together and we do trust each other and we respect each other and we get each other's lanes. So it's like, you know, business partners, but also best friends. So I would value if he came to me and, like, felt some kind of way, but I'm very confident and I'm 35 years old. Like, you know, I'm not a kid anymore. Like, I know how to manage my shit and I know how to get stuff done. So that's not anything I would ever be worried about.
So you get to the point where the new guy, you feeling him.
Yeah.
Now it's only appropriate for him to come to this type of event or that type of event.
No, we don't do that.
No. Okay, wait. Never. It's like, no, this is like a dinner. Like, you don't bring them? But Prob has to come to the dinner, and then you realize they don't click at all, right? Like, oh no, dude, we opposite. But you understand your dude because you, like, no, he's. You seem understanding. You seem like you would get the dude that nobody gets. Like, nobody understands why.
Just so you know, like, I'm cool with Problem.
Yeah. So yeah, let's put it to a real perspective. EP falls out with Problem. But you already, so you already love EP, and he like, nah, man, I really don't fuck, like, nah. So then, you know, you got one kind of like, now he deprioritizing what you got to do, maybe a little bit. Like, there's nothing Prob can say. There's nothing like either man can say to him, fuck with anything, right?
No.
Zero. Damn.
See, because I'm a different type of breed too. Like, I'm very about my business. So until I meet someone that gets it and we can get it together, if they're like, well, like, this isn't working or da-da-da-da, I'm like, okay. Bye. You know?
That's kind of cold,
It's
right?
been nice.
It is kind of cold.
Okay.
But
I think you have to.
isn't it? Have men done that? Like, isn't that something men can do?
You know we've done that. You know.
Absolutely.
So
why is it cold for me to do it?
Because you do it in a cute way. We don't do it in no cute way. That's cold. You can't be doing no cute, like, crack.
It's not even like I'm just like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's cold.
It's not a cute cold, though. It's just all right.
It's borderline heartless.
Very.
Dude, it's like the heart was not there in that. She's like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
yeah.
What's on? Turn the channel. Like, what's on TV? Like, kind of like back to my regular program.
Right.
Hey, look, too.
I can't help you pack.
Like you can also think about the stuff that you have no control over. Like, I have a friend that is a musician. I'm not even gonna name him, but like, for a musician, a dream gig would be somebody like Prince. He was married. Prince called him to do a tour. he miraculously never got the call because his wife didn't tell him until the gig was already solidified with somebody else. So I mean, I say that because like they can still hate and prevent you from progressing.
That's deep.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I know we wouldn't have made it.
Let me say, what do you do?
Nobody intercepted my call.
And that
Give
and
Prince the bat phone
like
line.
what like I'm trying to think if I put myself in that situation, right? If I was a guy, the dream gig is Prince, and that's essentially that's a career.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's a career. Like I'm pretty sure Prince don't just switch out band members. If something go cool, then you popping. You that's what is years of forever gigs, right?
Exactly.
Like, what do I do in that situation? Like, how do I? Because is divorce off the table? Like, and I say that because I'm like, my nigga, what does that mean? What does that mean when you do that? When somebody does that to me and us? Really, essentially, this is about us, though.
They hate you.
Am I allowed to
The
think
nice
that?
way.
Right.
They hate you the nice way.
I don't think they hate you. I think it's more of they have a jealousy and they want to hold you back to stay at their level because they're not comfortable with watching someone else succeed above them.
That's what hate feel like to me.
That's feeling
Right,
uncomfortable.
right.
Yeah, I put everything like that in the hate category.
That sounds horrible. I feel
Yeah,
you.
because I heard.
I feel you. And I'm like, that's terrible.
But it's true.
Right, no, right.
I remember last year, one of my friends got a really dope job over at Apple, and like the other friend who was at another job like called me crying, and she's like, "I want to feel happy for her, but like I can't," and da 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 da. And it's like, it was hard for me to process that because I'm like, but why? You know, like if she elevated, that means we're gonna elevate. If we're supporting her, like elevation happens together.
Right.
You know, like if you're feeling all kinds of negativity, like it's because you're stuck and you don't feel like you can elevate. Like that just elevated. You know, so it's really a matter of like
envy shows up, and you start to.
And ego shows up. And a lot
yeah.
of shit gets ruined in the music industry because of ego. I'm like, oh, down again. There you go.
Right.
Just showed your ego. Lost it all.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So can you have? We talked about earlier. I talked about off camera. What some guy has said. You know, this really famous, legendary guy has said. You know, you can't. I was telling him earlier how. One of this legendary dude has said. You can't be a success and have a successful marriage. But he was talking long-term success. Like he was talking like big dog shit. Like if you're fucking Jimmy Iovine or you're fucking whoever, there was some big legendary great star, right? He was saying you can't do both. And what he was saying was somebody can't roll because you can't balance that out. Because to be Puffy, you have to, nothing comes before the grind, right? So you understand how a cat like Puffy don't have steady relationships because you can't give your time to nobody at all. You could just fuck and then go on vacations but you back to nothing. You back to just the game and everything comes before. You start to feel like I'm not. How do you fall in love with somebody when you feel like you're second place to everything else? To somebody to something that's not even a human.
They paying the rent.
Right? Huh?
He paying that Diddy rent extra.
Got it. I got right. So I'm saying like he was saying that. I want to know what you think about that. Like you can't be somebody like that and have a successful marriage. You can't do both.
I don't think it's about you can't do both. I think number one, it's about timing. Mm-hmm. And number two, it's like you just kind of know when you get to that point. Because like me personally right now, I'm like, damn, like how Jimmy said in the Defiant Ones, like you gotta be, that's why horses have blinders. Because like you can't be looking left or right. Otherwise you're gonna fumble, you're gonna fall, and you ain't gonna finish the race. Like you gotta have them blinders on and you just gotta go. Like I know I'm in that mode right now in my life, so it's like I'm not really looking left or right for that, but do I know
Look right.
I want that?
Like,
absolutely, but I'm just like, you know, that's gonna happen when it happens. I also feel like a lot of that piece of people's lives happen a little bit later in our industry because, you know, a lot, like you are focused on a lot of stuff, but I see the successful part of the personal life happen. I just see it happen later when people are at their point and, you know, they have that time to meet that person.
Yeah.
That music industry 15-year engagement.
Shit.
Man.
We're gonna work it out. I just got to get $1 million.
Is it for, okay? If you're the man of your situation, I'm talking about being in the industry, right? Of your position, like, and then for y'all, how does this work out for y'all? Being in the business, right? And then you both did amazing, successful things, right? How do you deal with having one woman? And I don't mean like you. I don't mean. I'm not saying you guys never dipped out, never did whatever. It's not the conversation. I'm saying like, how do you deal?
Thank you.
I'm saying, how do you deal with that? Because I know it's been an issue. I'm sure it's been a fucking issue, right? Like, I mean, can you do both? And let me ask, and maybe we still haven't covered the idea of what a quote unquote successful relationship is. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure we probably got different definitions of what that is.
Right.
Even like, there's not no set definition for that. You can't really point that out. It's just kind of like y'all. Some people are polygamous. Some people are like, you know, this and that, whatever. So it's different rules to how you get down.
Yeah. So for me, it's easy because no matter what your definition of like successful relationship and doing the right thing, I know during my time I haven't done it. So I don't know. Mine don't equal nobody's. Like, no. This how I want my shit to go.
Right.
That's not just how I'm doing it, but at the same time, because I believe more like what Melissa's saying, which is like, man, right now, which this is my interpretation of it. I know you were saying like people settle down the line. Like in this industry, people, you got to be out of club life and picture life and fucking social media life,
Right.
And then personal shit. You know what I mean? But also just the life of just. Man, we drinking and doing other things and being about having a vision and making a vision come true. Like, I didn't have a vision of a particular person. If I met somebody, if I had a vision of a woman in my mind where it's like, no, I knew this redheaded lady, like freckles. I always knew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I met her, I would put things aside and I would address it as such. But I never had that. I had like, yo, you know hip-hop is on the radio. Like, what the fuck is hip-hop? Why would they have that on the radio like that? You know what I mean? Right. And, we about to do this. You know what I mean? And then as an artist, like an art person, you know what I mean? Just like, I'm going to do selfishly my thing as my calling the entire time. So at the end, I don't have nobody to blame for anything that don't work out how I want it. Because you don't want to be fucked with me for 20 years, but then I kind of halfway blame you because I could have gave that other 10% that you was like nagging me for. I could have put that in and won, you know, in my mind. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, I feel like during the time where I'm still like, like in the league, my relationship's going to happen very selfishly on my end.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? It's just an energy re-up and good vibes, or it don't work.
It's kind of to bounce off that. I'm not saying the same thing, but so it's kind of, I look at it kind of unfairly. But it's like you were saying with selfish, you know, because if I'm going to do this business, if I'm in this business and I know how rap goes, and now I'm doing radio and I'm doing TV, right? So, nigga, like, my time is just, it doesn't exist, right? So, I really, we talked about this one day. It's going to sound fucked up, but it is what it is. I just got to say it, right? At this point in my life, you just be wanting the girl to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I say that, I don't mean that disrespectfully. I know it sounds disrespectful. But what happens is you get to do so much in this business of, you got to deal with all these different people and personalities and just in this entertainment business alone, right?
Yeah.
And then you're out here dealing with fake shit, people not being real, people lying to you, money not coming when it's supposed to, blah, 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 all this shit. And then I'm like, okay, this shit drive me crazy, but I handled all my business today. And then you get home, what you don't want is somebody on you about anything.
Yeah.
Because I've been out getting the worst from everybody.
Yeah.
Like, when I come home, this can't happen. It can't. Because what happens is we start to juggle, okay, what's important? Because I can't deal with this. I got to get my money though. So we start to be like, all right, man, nigga, it's either shut the fuck up.
And even if it's not problems, it's like, man, it's energy draining. Just everybody here know it's energy draining being that social to that many people in a day.
Yeah.
Like people don't have to go through that. Like when you show up, hi, hey, remember me, touch you, hug you, grab you,
listen to my music,
friend,
take my thumb drive.
Right.
Even if it all good, even if it go all perfectly, exchanging energy is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like I get home and you want to drain some more of it. And I know my philosophy on the women shit always sound fucking chauvinist and cold, but I'm like, I got a son too, right? My son 20, right? I've been fucking forever. So but I've been on the road since like 17. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a sacrifice. You know, a kid, you don't show up for 3 weeks, they treat you different.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's up, little man? Like, oh, nigga, you been gone. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you got to take the sacrifice, relationship,
Right.
come on now. You an adult.
Yeah.
My thing, for me, a successful relationship will probably look like somebody who's so fucking busy on their own grind and successful in their own right and responsible for their own stuff, and at the same time want to be there for me and want to nurture me, but kind of is having the same struggle that I'm having with sharing time with her.
Right.
Then we will probably work a lot better because we will really enjoy the time when we both had a time to spend together.
Right.
But she's not just sitting around looking at the clock waiting on me to provide certain things. Like as soon as I come in the door, she want to talk my ear off about her day, and I want to unload my day on her.
Right.
And then we both clash. So
What about a white girl who coordinates her clothes to yours?
Duh! That's funny.
How would that work?
like you, I never thought about it like that, like a redhead with freckles. But if it just came to me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't matter if it's black.
If it was if it was just a foot away.
That's hilarious.
I didn't even realize I'm like the comfy to your sheet.
Yeah, the comfy to your sheet. Sometimes you need a comfy to your sheet.
Sometimes you need
to
a
your swig.
Hey,
That's the whole game.
right there.
You need to find a comfy to your sheet.
Okay, look, my terrible segue is coming up. So look,
Bam.
but before we go, I want to talk. I need to talk about this. Right?
Bust
I
a
have a
bit.
thing, and my man, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he want his significant other to know he actually said this. But one of my very good friends, one of my best friends, have a thing called. He says, man, fuck them kids, right?
Yeah.
And so, and when I say that, usually
not
people
like
are
that.
like,
I'm sorry.
you people are like, you stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't even get it out what I was talking about. You're like, yeah, fuck them, right? No, but his thing, why he said what he said is he's saying like not literally fuck your kids, like you know. But what he's saying is, and we talked about one of a guy friend of ours who had a big situation, and we'll explain kind of like what that is without the name and shit, right? But that was a perfect example of that. He should have been like, fuck them kids, right? Yeah. So I always say it's a thing about grinding in this business, trying to make it to a certain place. And sometimes you got to be like, fuck them kids. And what that entails is, what that is sometimes you're not going to have time for some of your most important people to you, some of your most important people. So because when you're grinding, sometimes you can't just be at your son's first graduation. You can't. And your son is not going to understand. He's going to be fucking hurt. Like, he probably going to cry to your mom, your mama. The baby mom finna be on you about it. Or if it's your girl at the time, however it is, or wife at the time, she going to be on you about it. But you had to do what's necessary so you can keep taking care of this whole unit. Right?
Right.
So sometimes you got to be like, man, fuck them kids. Like, nigga, you know.
Prejudice. It's prejudice, my nigga.
Man, I remember my partner was telling me when he was hustling, he was saying how, that he was staying with his, now it's his girl, and the lights cut off in the house. And he's sitting there with hella money, right, that she don't know about.
Right.
But he got something he got to do with this money.
Right.
He got to go re-up and get, this money can't done for with the money.
Just have this conversation.
The average nigga who ain't built like that, he would have paid that lights. He paid the lights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He like, man, fuck that. Fuck them lights. The electricity we can live in here for a couple of days dark. I got to do something with this. It's a bigger picture I'm working on with this. You know what I mean? And so it's hard for people to swallow that when they hear the fuck them kids thing, but I get it. And
especially when you're an artist.
Especially,
like, because I've always been like, as like a manager of artists for a long time, I'm like, my philosophy's always been this, I swear to God. You're not about to treat me no type of weird way because I'm not a soldier.
Right.
Or a fireman.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because them motherfuckers be gone.
Right.
It's a war to fight, then you got to go. That's your job. Right. You know what I mean? You're a fireman, you got to live at the station just in case somebody burn their shit down.
Right.
That's your job. Studio songs get made overnight. Like, when it just go how it go. You on the road. Like, you're not going to make me feel no type of guilty for being on the road, and that's my job. Even though you think it's 31 parties.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So I think a lot of it be our trade. Like, people are thinking that we just backed again, like media. You know what I mean? Like, they think we party and they can't respect it. Yeah.
It's like they look at it like it's fun.
I agree.
Yeah. People don't respect our trade
it's
to
like
know.
There's a judgment and stigma on it because everyone gets excited for the industry and it's fun and there's all these things going on. So everyone always has that FOMO. Like, you're out there, like, living it up. I'm not there, and that's fucked up. And have fun at your party. You know, it's not
have fun at your party gets said with the most malice.
Hey, look, like we talked about, like, they don't know, like, on the road, it's like, you do the show, and then it's like, oh, damn, he got an after party. Like, fuck, I want to go to the room.
Yeah.
Damn club, I want to go to. Like,
You can't convince them of that.
Exactly.
No, right. You can't. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Dude, that was the realest. You cannot convince it. Dude, that's the problem.
That is the problem.
I've never been able to convince nobody of like, no, when the party's over, people be trying to come to your room. You talking about year one shit, you scared gonna happen.
Right.
Oh, there's a party every night. Like, you talking about year 7, 8, 9, like, oh my God, tell them bitches to sit in the hallway, my nigga. God damn. No.
And there's so much to it. Like, when we just went out to Washington, it was like we left. It took us between flying out there, getting in the car. The venue was almost an hour and a half away, having to eat, having to do sound check. We had no free time from, like, when we left Burbank Airport to when we... And it was a turnaround. It was like, when did the event, came back, hung in the room, and then it was getting picked up for the airport at 3:30 in the morning, getting there, flying all day, coming back, and that's exhausting.
Yeah.
You know
Do y'all shop on the road and get like sponsored clothes and shit like that?
Sometimes we usually go to the weed shops to get sponsored
Definitely
weed.
I'm saying because you know when you come back and it's that, it's even worse.
More shit.
Man, I hated that tour. You coming in boxes of signature Adidas. You hated the tour. They didn't sell my size and nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that shit is
I know
crazy.
we talked about. So I want to tell that story on our guy who that was the prime example where he should have been like, fuck them kids with the Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I want to tell that story. Yeah.
A business partner of ours, same thing like Prince, but in this case, his son was being born, and Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish wanted him to come work with him before he got popping, but he wasn't strong enough to say fuck them kids, and now fuck his life. Not fuck his life, and you know what I mean. But like he could have been very successful because he would have been along for the ride of Darius's career.
Right.
And that's one instance where he should have been like, I gotta go solidify this position for us to be financially secure forever. Because like you don't get those breaks often.
Right.
And a lot of times you're frowned upon by that person for not taking the situation, and you're limited from other situations because you ain't bold enough to just take that step.
Because they understand how big of a move, a big of a play that is.
Yeah.
And so they understand, look, he's chasing his dream as well. So he understand like nigga, this is why you're supposed to be doing it, right? I'm laying it out for him. I'm giving you an opportunity to go where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then, but you dealing with your wife or girlfriend at the time, and then, your son being born. I know people like, well, it is your firstborn, whatever. Like, nigga, all right, but that's is going to happen. That happens one time, and then it's gone. This nigga, if that don't happen no more, you almost can be fucked.
Yeah.
Because that's a solidified, set up career. Sometimes, man, think about it. Going on the road with like a Prince or something, like Prince toured until the day he died. He's never not going to be on the road.
Yeah.
Like, that's a forever job.
Right.
It's like niggas out here straight.
That's a hard choice to make, though. Because you basically choosing between, like, son, like, your shit was so important that I just was like, fuck that. Whatever happened, I'm going to be there when my son born. Or, yo, I taught you that no matter what, I don't give a fuck what happened, you go pursue your shit.
I'll take the latter. I take the ladder. Yeah.
Dang, that's a hard one.
And because look, man.
I mean, I did the other one, but yeah.
Because I look at family different. Like, I love all my family, but
Right.
like, this ain't what that's about. Like, it's not a love thing.
Right.
It's not. I'm trying to set myself. Our whole purpose is supposed to be, when you are a family, is to take care of this family. Financially is a major part of it.
Right.
Now, if I have door number one is watching your son get born, right? That's a personal thing. That's a you thing, right? Door number two is it's a career for you. Like, most people in the world don't even have careers. Niggas just work.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas just work.
And it's not like you have 10 job offers to where, like, okay, I'm going to pass this
Yeah,
up
it's like,
because I'm
exactly.
going to go with him, and he's not requiring me to be there, and I can be here for the birth of my son. Like, these come far in between.
You gotta weigh that shit out.
Yeah.
Me, I don't. I know what I'm doing. But I'm saying, a nigga, the other type of nigga,
I'm on the same page with you.
right.
Because you fuck around and deal with a person who you with, who your opportunity that's on the horizon, that's what you've been looking for, it's too much for them.
Yeah.
And they get to hating on the situation, like, not only because it's just too much for them to think that they're going to be the person with somebody that successful, but every successful person who been with somebody before they were successful, at least they promoting that you leave them.
Right.
Kanye leave his girl, this person leave their girl, like, I got money now, bitch. You know what I mean? So you got somebody close to you, like, kind of like betting against you low-key,
Right.
you know, depending on who you got. So
And not knowing what type of relationship they had all during them coming
Man.
up. It could be like, I'm just tolerating her, like, even though I was with her. But like, okay, watch, you could have been shitting on my dream the whole time we was together.
right.
Now it's popping, now I'm
Yeah.
out. Heisman.
Right. Real talk.
Voodoo on your dream.
Yeah.
All right, so look, man, if we can sum up the we're gonna take one topic, I guess, because we talked about a couple of things, whatever. But to wrap this up, I want to know any advice when we talk about business and relationships, right? Any advice you have to give on that, on being in the business and dealing with somebody who's not necessarily of the business. Do we have any advice for that? I mean, we'll go
do.
one by one.
I definitely do. Pair yourself or find somebody that's your fan, that's going to be your fan, that want to see you win, whether they're with you or they without you.
That's deep. That's dope.
Yeah.
Melissa?
I would say take your time and don't rush into anything on the personal side, because I think a lot of the times too, like if you're trying to be successful or at the point where you're gaining notoriety of success, you know, it gets lonely along the way, and sometimes like in that vulnerability, you feel like it's a great idea to maybe bring this person in. So I would just say, take your time with everything. Don't rush to have it all, because you can have it all if you play your hand right.
Right. I did that.
Great word.
Mr. Badru.
Quit her before you want to hit her. I don't know. Be
And
single the
then
whole
there's
time. No, I'm just kidding. Be single. Enjoy your life till you get ready to fucking
So
not
take
be
door
working.
1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Right. All right, man. That's my peoples they feeling today, man. I want to thank EP for stopping by. I want to thank the beautiful Miss Melissa for stopping
So
by.
welcome.
My man Badru is always in the building with his partner.
Yeah.
He doing it like that, man. And the cookout, look out for the cookout, man. Every Tuesday at 6 or 7. It's changed every time. We kind of do what we want to do here, so it's kind of that's how we get down.
You just changed the time this week.
Every time, yeah. We do what we want to do. So Just look out for us next time. We'll post the shit and all that shit, like whatever. But keep checking us out, man. We're gonna do bigger and better
CP
things.
time.
We got hella shit coming up. Whatever. This is the cookout. That's what it is. Straight like that.
Yeah.